And we're live. Everybody, you should be able to hear us over the music. Hello, Old Man Dan, Geo, Crazy, KL. And we've Purple.
Hello. Are you hearing us in the side chat?
With us tonight for the after party, we have Bill and Nigel.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, Nigel, we didn't quite get to that. I don't really know who you are, so why don't you tell me a bit about yourself?
Oh, now, do you want to know a little bit about Nigel Farage, or do you want to know a little bit about the guy behind the mask who is called Rory Herbert? Rory is the actual person. Nigel Farage, he's just popped on. I don't think you're getting the joke.
Let's talk about Rory.
Nigel Farage is a politician over here, Purple.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't get the reference.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, I could talk about my cousin Rory, but this is actually the real Nigel Farage.
Yep, you've seen it here, folks. Nigel Farage and Antifa on the one stream.
There's my photo with my cousin Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Antifa is, Purple?
Yeah, it's got a very bad name in the U.S.
Yeah, but that's just because your media are idiots and they don't know what they're talking about. That's the only reason.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's, they've been pretty much demonized in the press, and I, don't think that most of them are really that extreme.
No, they do have a bad name.
Well, I was rather demonized in the press, until we got the referendum in 2016.
Well, Purple doesn't know a gosh darn thing about any British politics.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Well, I hear enough about it that I've got a vague idea of what a mess Brexit has become, but that's about all I know.
Well, I seen a thing today in it was a tabloid now, but the UK government, or the UK the country, is going to be in the top 4 of the biggest growers in this last 2 years. Upwards of 1,000 companies have now set up their main European headquarters in the UK because the people doing the business seem to think that this is the hub, and it is putting us in the top 3, top 4 most grown economies in this last year. So,
well, that's showing the businesses must have some faith in the current government of being able to straighten it all out.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, people didn't realize how strong. Now, I'm not a right winger at all. Don't get me wrong here, and I don't like anybody with fucking load of money. I hope to sting all the big rich bastards, because you don't need to have 70 million. 5 million's more than enough. It's no need for that.
You don't even need that much.
Yeah, you don't even need that much. No. And it's all about helping your smaller community and helping people. And you know where I stand, but I'm just pointing out that it is, like, everybody knows that I voted for Brexit. I voted for Brexit mainly for the reasons that I've stated before in Northern Ireland, more so than the UK. But as it stands, the UK is going to be one of the biggest growing economies. So if they just got their finger out of their hole 2 years ago,
yeah, it's I certainly won't claim to understand the issues there at all, and even the general politics. I know that, what are considered left in the U.S. would probably be considered centralist in the U.K.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
so
you do have a left wing, but it is a bit more towards the actual centre politically than.
I think your statistic, Mr. MathPig, was actually the amount of European financial companies who had decided to join the London stock market.
Which basically means they're betting against the economy failing, and that's why we're seeing the growth, is because the companies are betting against the economy failing. They're betting against when we actually leave that the economy is going to crash, and then they're going to stand to make a lot of money. But anyway.
Well, that could be the reason, Bill. But I think it might also have been that that the European Union has said, we're not going to allow you to trade with us as part of the transition agreement. And I think they all put in their bids to be able to trade. But there's two ways of looking at that, as always.
Right. Like, no politics. I said this about 4 times before we come on.
Yeah. Okay, so let's find a new topic.
It was not me. Hey, Tony, how's it going?
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, we got
Tony,
Nerdy and Maya and Crazy
Purple
Cat's
Face.
back. And Tony.
Yeah, Tony has not missed a face reveal. Not
Yep.
yet.
No, Tony, until I can move back to Minnesota, this is the best anyone's going to get. I can't really do a full face reveal until I'm removed from this little town.
No. No. Well, you'll get there, Purple. You'll get there.
Yep. Oh yeah, MathPig, something else I need to ask you to help me with was, I went and bought a party pack that has that Quiplash game and a couple others.
Yes.
So I need a little help from you about, how do you set that up to run that in your streams?
You really do not want to know, Purple. I have the honest to fuck, you don't want to know. I have the left screen running the StreamYard. I have the right screen running OBS in the background with Quiplash over the top of it. StreamYards is ensuring the right hand screen. I then have to use my laptop to use and look at the YouTube chat and use my phone to actually answer the questions in the background of Quiplash.
Well, that's going to be a problem because I only have one screen.
Yeah, and it took me 4 to make. Yeah, it's a fucking disaster.
That bites because I was hoping I could use that in some of my streams.
Well, if you, you see, man, if you set up a screen, no, you can do that. I can host it, and you can share it from StreamYards. If you share my screen instead of sharing your screen, and if you have a smartphone to answer the questions in the background, we're landed. You'll only need your phone and another screen, and I'll do all the hard work on my end.
I have the phone. I have tried to keep the phone disconnected from the internet. I don't feel I need to have the internet in my pocket all the time, and it's just, again, it's like, it gives me notifications for everything and makes everything seem urgent, and it's like, all this shit can wait till I get home.
Well, you don't need to connect it to the YouTube or anything like that. You just need to connect your phone to a web page and and then just answer the questions. It'll be grand.
Very, very true.
Oh my goodness! Right. Really distracting. Don't want to do politics, and it's just really distracting. I don't know.
Yeah, MathPig, you were talking about building a house.
Yes, I have been planning a house and planning floor plans for the house for as long as I can remember, man. I must have about 50 house plans.
Yeah, well, that's my area, If you gave me all the materials and a couple of helpers, I could build a house from the ground up.
Yeah, well, my dad's done it twice before, so...
Yeah, about the only part I can't do on my own is all of the ducts for the heating and air conditioning. And that's largely a matter of that you need specialized tools for the sheet metal working that I don't have.
Well, the benefit of being in the UK is we don't use that shit. We just have a central heating. That's plumbing.
Yeah. Your mum's house is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that took a while to build. And still not quite finished.
Yeah, I'll bet it did.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I wish I could afford to actually build myself something, but...
Well, it's took my mum absolute ages, man. And my mother lived in an underground shed for fucking God knows how many years until it was finished with no windows and no doors. They had a mirror where their window should be.
I actually had an idea of, there's an old house trailer sitting on my mom's property that, it's not in that great a shape, but I had the idea of just ripping it down and building on that chassis. But the big expense is actually, getting the piece of land and getting all the utilities run into the land.
Well, you see, that's the thing as well. I would be something similar to yourself, man. My granny may, my granny may be passing away. Of course she's going to pass away. We all fucking die. But my granny owns a tiny wee bit of land, and I was talking to her about maybe possibly getting a wee bit, and it's that far out in the middle of absolutely nowhere that you can't get planning permission unless there's already been a house built on it. And a house built up there in the back in the main days has a pump out the back for water, and it's like a loophole in the law, seeing as there's a house there. Even though that house doesn't have foundations, you can then get planning permission, for a house.
Right. Yeah.
But, I was looking, Bill, the closest electric to where the bit of land is something like 3 mile away. That's how out in the fuck. There's not even an electric there yet.
Yeah, and that's
that would be a mission.
The problem
where my mom was is that there is absolutely no way to get any internet service out there. Because it's like even the cable TV stops at the state highway, which is like 3.5 miles away. So there's no cables running out there, and the phone company. Yeah, the phone cables, the switching equipment is so old that it can't even handle a DSL.
What's up, nerds?
Catnip, my dear, thank you for joining on. Hi.
Hello.
Howdy. I am currently trying to make dinner and I can't find any of the things I need any of the time.
The joys of motherhood.
I live here all the time and I can never find literally anything I'm looking for.
Oh, we've got a bit of tea and Danish on the side now.
Hello? Linda. Wouldn't that be correct?
Yep.
Perfect. Good to get names correct. Hi, Sadie. I haven't forgot about you. Couldn't forget about Sadie. She makes an impression.
To say the least.
Oh, somebody's on the hit list. Yeah. Somebody said not nice things about her, and somebody is... Think of G-Man and Jill that's tattooed from top to bottom and thinks he's from the ghetto. Said not nice things about a certain person, and I might have to get my gun.
I'm confused.
Think if you got G-Man, and then you got another... who did I say? G-Man and Jill. And... you were a white guy from California, tattooed from top to bottom, and thought you were in the ghetto. But with the attitude of Jill and G-Man combined.
I still don't know what you're on about.
I'm trying to get you to imagine this sort of person in your mind.
I'm lost as well, Bill. Don't worry about it.
But you don't know G-Man or Jill. Bill does.
Yeah, okay, I do, yeah.
Oh, right, sorry, okay. I do apologise now. I did actually, in a conversation with Trolley the other day, that I promised I would not refer to him as the person who shall not be named anymore, so we have now named him Trolley. So, imagine Trolley and...
Trolley, alright.
Trolley and G-Man, but white, tattooed from top to bottom, and thinks that they were born and raised in the ghetto. Can you picture this person in your mind?
I can sort of picture that person in my mind, yeah.
They
Right.
sound like a tragedy.
He sounds like a tragedy. His fucking life's going to be a tragedy. He said not nice things about a person that are friends with us. So we have to get our guns.
Well,
Right, okay.
I can imagine.
I'm working on it.
I can imagine that Mr. MathPig will never mention my name again.
Nigel Farage. I've no problem saying his name.
Oh, well, I was wrong about that.
But why you need to bring it back to the politics, I don't know. I've said it like 3 times.
I'm not bringing it back to politics. I'm just mentioning names.
It's written on screen, Nigel.
Okay, and is there anyone born outside of the UK named Nigel? That seems to be such a uniquely British name.
Well, Jamaica. It's also quite common in like Jamaica and Nigeria. Like it's quite a common African and Caribbean name.
Okay, I wasn't aware that was much used there.
No, I would agree. Well, I wouldn't have heard it as an American name. But then with American names, you
No,
get
not an
people
American
like
name.
Hank. You know,
Yeah.
I ain't never heard of no Hanks outside of America.
Yeah,
Travis.
that's because in the South a lot of people can't pronounce more than one syllable.
Well, I've never heard of anyone called Elvis in England.
Well, until he was declared the king of rock and roll, it wasn't a popular name, but nowadays it is.
The man who died on a toilet, leaving behind his last kingly evidence.
Is that not a myth?
No, that's actually true. He did actually die on a toilet.
Yeah.
My,
See, Americans have this thing that since we never had royalty in this country, they try to elevate celebrities to the status of royalty. And personally, I could never give a crap about the celebrities in the first place. It's like, okay, if they make some good art or music, that's something worthwhile. But I'm really not interested in all the details of their personal life.
What are we on about?
well,
Tony's
no,
fifth
just-
cousins with Elvis. Cool.
Yeah. But strange enough, Bill, my aunt nearly died on the toilet in Australia. No, seriously, no. She was about to sit down, and in there was an Australian brown snake, which is apparently
Oh
the most,
dear.
the second most poisonous snake in the world.
Yeah.
Anyway, she managed to flush it away, thankfully.
Somebody was
That's one of
telling
the
me that
reasons-
same story last night. I forget who it was that I was chatting with last night that was telling the same thing.
Oh, really? So
Yep.
it's not that uncommon then.
Yeah, I don't know, how common it is, but yeah, it was, one of the Australians was telling me that.
Things like that aren't uncommon in Australia, to be fair, which is part of the reason why I'm a bit loath to ever go there, because there's so many things there that could kill you, like from very tiny things to very big things.
Yeah. Well, and then the things that can't actually kill you are pissed off about it, so they'll attack you anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Lucy.
Well, and then, Bill, of course, you can always get in a boxing match with a kangaroo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad time.
Their situation with the wildfires, though, it's like there are so many animals that are unique just to that continent, and it's seeming like some of them may not make it through. Because even the ones that survive the fires, like the koalas, their food source is being destroyed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even the ones that survive, are half of them going to starve because there just aren't enough trees left.
Yeah.
They're airdropping fruit into the outback so that the animals can actually eat.
I saw that, and just last night, the Channel One World, had posted a thing about that, about some of the rescue efforts, and about them deploying water stations all over for the animals.
I live really close to a place called Longleat. It's a big safari park, and two of the keepers there are like sort of world-renowned koala bear keepers. They're authorities on the koala bear, and they've gone over to Australia to go and look after the koalas and see if they can help in any way that they can. Which I thought was pretty cool.
You're not far away from me, Bill, if you're near Longleat.
That doesn't surprise me, to be fair. It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, literally, I'm literally like right, pretty much on the doorstep of Longleat.
We probably even drank at the same pub in that case.
Hey there.
It wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me either.
You coming?
Hi, Dave.
Oh, hello, Dave. Hello, Dave.
Yay!
Hey, Dave.
My main man, Dave.
An Inquisitive Quandary, our professional volunteer shill. He'll shill for everybody.
Yeah, well, Tony has his wee bit over on our side, You don't see Tony doing his bit, but Tony does his wee bit as well. I just replaced him with a robot. On my server, it was just easier to replace him with a robot.
Yep.
Not to put Tony down, but it makes him replaceable in one server. Tony does be everywhere.
Well, Tony deserves at least a little respect.
Here is...
Pardon?
Oh,
Pardon?
here is my best pal. This is Handsome Kitty. My pal Sammy-san.
You want to come up, Pot? Come here. You want to see my doggy? Come here.
And people think I'm joking about it, but yeah, he'll settle down in my lap. And half the time that I'm, in the chats, I am usually balancing the keyboard on my kitty's back. Because when he decides he wants to be in my lap, he will keep headbutting the keyboard until I move it.
Oh, puppy!
Or the puppy. He will be 16 in April.
Damn, your dog almost as old as I am.
Huh?
Okay.
What?
Pot. Hey,
Yeah,
Pot.
here's my pal.
Look at him.
Hello, Pot. Say hello to everybody. Go. Woof. Go. Bark. Go. Come on. Come on.
He's a
Don't be
great
camera
dog.
shy. Arr. Down upstairs.
He's just happy to be up there, isn't he? Instead of being sat on the floor.
Well, that's like his third time being up on the table.
Yeah, I do want to apologize to the people in the side chat, but I've got the prescription lenses in the mask because I can't wear it over my glasses. And since they're old lenses, it's a little hard for me to focus on the text very well, so I can't follow the side chat as well as I usually do.
It's okay, they're not saying anything important.
Yeah, it's just Lucy talking. Give me 1 second, I let this dog out. He's all excited now, he needs to run to the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy-san's decided he's going to just settle down and use my ankle for a pillow, so he's just below the frame. Actually, if my name tag wasn't there, you'd probably see him.
No, I didn't mean to get you all excited. Get up! Get up! Lay down! No, he didn't want out. He thought we were going to play now. It's not playtime.
Well, it's no fun going out alone. He wants you to go with him.
Oh no, he's a rowing dog. That dog would beat the fuck out of Conor McGregor in less than 43 seconds.
Yeah. That's why I don't think it's fair to have a dog unless you've got a space for him to run.
MathPig.
Yes.
As long as I'm living in an apartment, I just stick to cats.
I see her news.
She demands that you respond.
I did respond. I laughed out loud. Oh, she wants me to announce it.
Too.
Does she want me to announce it to the world?
Yes.
Is she #needy?
Probably.
Richard Madsen, my co-host that does the show with me on a Thursday that has Richard's views, has agreed to be interviewed by Lucy.
Okay.
That'll be interesting.
Am I getting to host that, Lucy? Is that going to be this Thursday hosted on my channel, or are we going to give you the views?
It's going to be 10:30 on Thursday on her channel.
She can get away to fuck. I have him to 11:30.
Richard tried to move it to 8:30, and we said that wasn't acceptable. It had to be 10:30.
No, Thursday 10:30. You stream. You did that deliberately, didn't you, Dave? You know I stream every night at 10 o'clock UK. Every stream I do is 10 o'clock UK.
She's doing it to mess with you.
He's doing it to annoy me. He probably no. He
deliberate wind up.
No. It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't a wind up. And they actually did it, because that's what we sort of do in the whack pack, is we be assholes to each other and we have to deal with it.
If it makes you feel any better,
then ask me too.
Richard refused, point blank, to clash.
Did he?
Yes.
I'll host it. And then it'll not be clashing. Oh, no, sorry, there's a whole thing going, Purple. I don't know if you've noticed or not in some of the chats. I haven't seen you in them chats, but everybody has sort of picked up on this thing now where it's called #BlameMathPig. I'm sort of getting the blame for absolutely everything.
I've seen the hashtag out there. I didn't really know where that had started.
You did see it?
I've seen the hashtag. I didn't know how that had all started.
Well, I be up late and don't sleep, and then I keep streams going, and instead of going to bed, I make the stream go to another channel, and then went to that channel and kept it going till it got moved to another channel. And in total, I think between 3 channels, there was like a 10-hour, 11-hour sort of chat, and that's happened a couple of times. But there's 5 or 6 of us, as I referred to earlier, as the whack pack. Lucy and God and me and Critical, who slipped in the back door. He's by, but we don't like to make a big deal about it, so we'll just move on from that. And we like to stir shit between each other because we've all thick skins. And over here in the UK and possibly Australia, from what I've picked up, which doesn't actually shock me, the friendlier you are with someone, the more you can tell them they're a cunt. So we really abuse each other an awful lot.
Yeah, I got that from the Australians, that, you know, and that's a little hard for me to work with. You know, I suppose I can adjust to it eventually, but part of my problem. Well, part of my problem with the autism is I tend to take things way too literally, and then I have to like reprocess it again to see if that's what somebody really meant.
Yeah, totally get what you mean. No. Being on the scale and stuff like that, like there is a few things I've mentioned once or twice that I think I need to go get fucking tested. I've had a few things, and a few people with the symptoms and stuff have said to me, so we did agree on the whole background check of people in your mind when you see and things like that. But I don't know, it's not a bad thing. It can be a difficult thing for your cures. I have a cousin who has a non-verbal autistic son. He's 9 and still has to get pushed around in a pram, and even on her wedding day, she had to get a specific carer to come in and look after him, you know, and it can be difficult for the carers. But you are functioning, though, obviously. You just forget to eat sometimes. You have to get Sloth Girl to feed you. But apart from that, you're doing all right, Purple.
Yeah, well, I wasn't diagnosed until I was like 42. You know, and it's like I've been in and out of therapy so many times, like since I was 14, and it's like they could never really figure out what the problem was. But that was back in the 70s, and it really, it wasn't talked about much then. Nobody really knew what it was.
Yes. I've been referred to as what used to be referred to as Asperger's, functioning Asperger's. But again, I haven't done a test, went to the doctors. I've done an internet test and had a few markers, but,
Well, and actually, mine started out, I did an internet test, and I took the results from that, and I showed it to everyone who had known me more than 2 years. And the universal response was, oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
So then I took that to the therapist I was seeing, and he went and, checked the diagnostic criteria, and it's like, oh, yeah, this does fit pretty well.
If I could just interrupt for 1 second, if I don't acknowledge Lucy, see what just popped up in the chat. Say my fucking name out loud. She wants acknowledgement because she's so needy.
Super high maintenance, isn't she?
Isn't she?
Super high maintenance.
Super high maintenance. This is what I'm saying. Constant attacks on each other. But
well, something, Mr. MathPig. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a hashtag. I've had many in my life.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Well, absolutely. People click on it, don't they?
Yeah.
From time to time.
I've even got an entire hashtag fucking merch range in the merch store. Go check out my merch store. Someone put the link in the chat. One of the nice people put the link in the chat for the MathPig merch store. Buy a hoodie, buy a t-shirt. Don't buy the cup. Do buy the cup. Dave really wants to buy the cup.
Well, my main one is because people go on talking about the reptilian overlords. So mine is hashtag not all saurians.
Yes,
Why
Bill.
is your link not in your description?
What?
It says MathPig merch under construction.
Yes, I said that to Purple earlier. I says I've put all your links and everything. I've even put your Twitter chat in it. And then when I scrolled down, I went, oh, for fuck's sake, I forgot to update that and put my merch store link in it. I did notice that, man, but I haven't got round to changing it yet. Teespring GB /MathPig merch. Fucking... It's in that place with the thing with the stuff. Everybody's bloody muted. They've all come on to the after party and fucking muted. What sort of after party is this where everybody comes on and mutes?
No, it's Lucy. I haven't been on anyone's stream for weeks. I've been taking personal time for a few weeks, so that is why I've been sorting my shit out, or trying to.
I'm doing well from what I've heard 2 weeks ago to tonight.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Good.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, see? Brilliant. Doing well tonight. Tomorrow he'll be ringing me, crying down the phone, eating a big giant tub of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, going, everybody hated me last night. I talked too much. Like, you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I try to keep to the opinion that what anyone else thinks of me is none of my business.
Yeah, I don't give two fucks. I have never looked for anyone making any sort of retort or back or anything like that about me. People can say what they want about me. You know, when I hit 200 subscribers, I told people to give me self-deprecating suggestions as a celebratory thing. Let's make a fucking cunt out of me. I'm totally comfortable with myself.
We can't do it. You do that so well yourself.
Exactly. Right, if I don't say for the second time, Lucy Luxor has got Richard Madsen. She's going to interview him, you know. Yeah.
Who's Lucy Luxor?
Lucy Luxor, everybody sub to Lucy. Yeah, hashtag needy. She needs it said again. There you go.
Yeah, the attorney design is going on about the shape-shifting subterranean reptilian overlords.
Do they live inside the hollow earth where all the dinosaurs went after the meteorite?
Yeah, well, let's see, that's my purpose. I'm an ambassador here because, you know, we would like to form an alliance with you against the tyrannoids who threaten both of our worlds. See, we ceratopsins are peaceful people. We just like to vacation here to laugh at the flat earthers and graze at your generous salad bars.
Sorry, I was texting Lucy. She was being hashtag needy again. Text me and fucking more than my own woman. It's awful, like.
I need to make another coffee.
Lucy, slot opening for 5 minutes. Do you want to jump in for 5 minutes and give me shit live on stage?
I don't know. Catnip's doing a little bit of a dance there. I like that.
Catnip, I wanted to say to you earlier, you were mentioning about your little one. I do apologise. What's your little one called again?
We call her Ellie.
Ellie. When you were mentioning Ellie playing with the phone and the mobile and the fact that her hand, couldn't work around and do the buttons and stuff, yes?
You what? Hold on.
Somebody make elevator music. Oh no, there's background music. There should be background music.
Finally found the fucking link.
Here, just in case anybody didn't know, Lucy is getting to interview Richard Madsen soon.
Yeah, I've seen Lucy in yours and God's chats a lot, but you really haven't interacted with her directly much.
Lucy has absolutely nothing to do with the atheistic sort of streams. She has been jumping in lately because she's getting more involved with me and Dave and the banter back and forth. And she's like, what are you doing? We're watching this. So she comes over and God follows. Ha 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 ha. No, Lucy's good fun. She's a makeup channel, but she does mainly streams that are funny as fuck. The hangouts, the crack, the banter. It's amazing. So,
now that I can hear you, what were you on about?
I was saying earlier on your stream, you were mentioning about Ellie playing with your phone. Yes?
Yeah.
You were also mentioning about Ellie getting better with the walking.
Yeah, she's trying to figure it out.
Yes. Well, watch out for this shit, because I got a phone call and it was from the police. Because my wee girl had walked up and randomly dialed so many numbers on the phone, it automatically phones the police here. And they rang back and was like, yeah, we were just talking to someone who was all blah, 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 blah. Phone? Blah, blah. Was your little one running around? It was like, oh, fuck's sake, did she ring the police? So, yeah, watch out for that.
Well, she doesn't get mommy's phone often. The only reason she was getting my phone then is because we were video chatting with her daddy while he was at work.
Oh, no, this was
And
the
she was trying
landline.
to...
This was the landline phone in the hall. She walked out into the hall, lifted the phone. Hello? Is this the police? Blah, 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 blah. Down the... Yeah. And then put the phone down and come back in again. And 2 minutes later, the phone rang. Because they have to ring back and check and make sure it's not an emergency or everybody's okay. And...
Well...
Yeah.
I trust you weren't arrested, MathPig.
No, they just rang back and laughed because it was quite funny. It happens quite often, supposedly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't know better.
Yeah, kids just want to copy what they see the people around them doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I went and bought a brand new phone for the hall, cut the lead off the one in the hall, and it's now sitting in the cupboard. I can go and get it for you, and she plays with it in the living room. I give it to her and let it be her phone.
Yeah, that's about how it is.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I found with raising, the really small kids when I was taking care of the ones before they could walk, and just watching the development and watching the stuff that they figured out on their own. Like, I had one of the girls, just a couple of months after she had started walking, we were in the store, and she ran up to the pop machine, and she hit the button, and she reached in, expecting to get the bottle of pop. And it's like, yeah, she had it all figured out, except that she didn't know about putting the coins in.
Children are exceptionally smart. For sure.
Yeah, and this was at like 2.5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was even younger than that, man. It was like 1.5, 2 years old, somewhere in around there. She picked up... No, it was even less than that. Yeah, 1.5. She picked up the phone. Not long after she could figure out how she could walk and was like, what the fuck? This is cool.
Yeah, I had one that never learned to walk. She went from being in the stroller to running. There was no crawling, there was no walking. It's just one day she took off full speed and never slowed down.
Mine is refusing to learn to crawl. She's 7 months and she's like, when it comes to tummy time, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
It'll get better. And
She loves standing on her feet though.
Yeah.
She loves to be with her feet on the floor. She can't quite hold herself up yet, but she's working on it. But we have like a little bouncy thing that attaches to the door frame, and she stands in that and she'll spin.
Yeah.
Like a little ballerina.
Well, across 25 years and 4 relations, I wound up helping raise 9 kids. None of them were mine.
Oh, jeez.
And you know what, Catnip? She'll probably grow up to be an Olympic athlete.
Yep.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
There was one huge advantage with raising someone else's kids.
You can hand them back.
Well, whatever went wrong, the mother and I could always agree to blame the father.
Yep.
Now, I made a terrible mistake. I knew my daughter before she became my daughter, and I taught her lots of bad habits because they weren't going to affect me. So I intentionally taught her how to run and answer the phone. I intentionally taught her how to press buttons on the phone. I intentionally taught her that things were called different things. And then 6 months later, I got together with her mother and inherited her.
I love the way you put that.
I had suffering for them all.
Well, you know, Dave, that's quite interesting because I tried to get my children to make a phone call with an old dial-up phone. Absolutely no idea how to use one.
I'm not even sure that I know how to use an old-fashioned, like...
The dial.
phone.
Yep, the rotary phone.
The rotary dial.
Yeah. I'm not even certain I know how to use that.
Oh, God. You post-boomer people.
Post-boomer.
Blame America.
You can actually buy digital phones with the old style dial.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're pretty cool. Like proper.
Yeah, they're
retro style.
available for people who, like the nostalgic look.
They're also not cheap, obviously, because
Of course not. Nothing is.
converting that analog motion to a digital signal is not the simplest thing to do. Do you know what I mean? It's not the same as pushing an on-off button, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. It's exactly the dial phone. The dial rotary phones did exactly that. Disconnected and reconnected. It literally is a switch.
Oh, I suppose when it gets to the end, yeah.
Yeah, it's just when the dial spun, it was counting the number of pulses.
Sorry, I'm dithering.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
background here.
That's actually how all those relationships started for me. It was always women who wouldn't have even thought about dating me, but I was like at their house repairing things or something like that, and the kids got attached to me, so then the mom decided, what the hell.
I wouldn't.
Wait,
no,
wait,
no.
Are you the source of all the porn?
I wish my job worked that way, but...
I do miss the old analog phone systems. That's for sure. I liked never having to pay for a phone call. It was great.
Yeah,
but,
well, I understand that cell phones in other countries, tend to be more expensive and they track everything. In the U.S., there are a lot of stuff you can get that, you can basically get a flat rate, no matter how many calls you make in a month.
And just do whatever you want. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Bill and Dave will probably agree with me here. I mean, you used to have to rent your telephone from BT.
Okay, we're not that old.
Well,
I remember you could.
I remember my parents just paid the bill, come what may. The
Yeah.
phone was probably there for 30 years, and they were still paying the rental of it. It was
Well, I got one of
ridiculous.
the BT rental phones.
Yep.
But they don't ask for them back. If you tell them you got to cancel it, they don't ask for them back.
Well,
I mean,
No.
technically, you pay line rental as part of your mobile phone package.
Yeah.
I remember that growing up in the U.S. here, that, until sometime in like the mid to late 70s, that, we had to rent the phones from AT&T,
Yeah.
and then they finally passed the law allowing people to buy the phones, so they didn't have to rent them indefinitely.
Yeah. But they had to be certified, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, they were meant to be certified to be connected.
On the old analog phone systems, when it used to be that phone boxes were everywhere, you could either carry around a dictaphone and play back the tones, like basically put like a couple of quid's worth or a couple of dollars worth of money into the phone and then record the tones it makes, and then you could just walk around with that in your pocket, just pick up the phone and play the tones back, and it would give you the money's worth. Or you could dial the number using the like the hang up.
Is this not Hackers, the movie from the 90s?
No, seriously though, but like, like the hang up bit, if you replaced 0 with 10, you could dial the number using the bit that you hang up by hitting every time you come across a 0, you do it 10 times, and you could do it for free.
In the UK, you just get a copy of the key for the phones, and you open the phone, and there's just a socket on the inside, and you plug your own phone in.
Yeah, well, I know what he was talking about recording the tones and being able to dial that way.
Yeah, on the analog system, on the old analog system,
Yeah.
that worked.
Yeah, I remember those working when I was like in middle school.
I was disappointed when I made a black box, only to discover that we'd already switched over to digital on our exchange.
Yeah, it's all changing so fast now.
There will be ways around digital systems as well, no doubt.
There
If you're
are.
in
At
the
the end
know.
of the day, digital systems are eminently more hackable. The routing, the routing now yeah, it's because the backbones now that go over IP, you can basically get in the way. And all you got to do is find various different compromised gateways, and you're in.
Yeah.
It's both a lot simpler and a lot more complicated at the same time.
Want some green beans, Alex? Got some green beans.
Somebody's got a robot talking in the background. Hello.
Yum, yum.
There is the noise in the back.
Yeah, and saying that, I'd probably only be going for a wee while longer, maybe another 5-10 minutes, because my head's getting a wee bit sore and I'm staring at screens too much today. So, if anybody's got any questions from the chat, oh, hello, Catnip's other half. I'm waving.
He's talking to you, boy.
Oh, sorry.
Aww, wee Baba.
Where's
This is my family.
Aww, so cute.
hello?
Hello.
Stop.
I got a whole family portrait.
Wait a minute. If you drop the baby, that means you have to divorce yourself, right? Dun dun dun.
That's an expensive trial.
I don't know. I don't have
Your Honor, I sentence also me guilty and not guilty.
Right. Well, what we'll do is we'll wind down. We'll say bye. Purple. I think you everybody knows who you are. Bill is Antifa.
Everyone.
We've got Nigel
Yeah.
Farage, who
Everyone knows
managed,
who I am.
who thinks he organised all of Brexit, who didn't. We've got Crazy Catnip, Crazy Catnip's little baby, and Crazy Catnip's other half. And we've got Critical Dave, not Dave, in the corner. Everybody,
Yay!
thank you all for coming up. I really appreciate everybody here. I really do.
That way.
What?
Pointing at Dave.
Yeah, everybody points at Dave because that's because he's bi, but we're not making a big deal out of it. So.
Exactly. It's bad.
You gotta do the Disney point.
Everybody, thanks for turning up. Talk to you all later. Bye bye.